In the headlines, government signs contract with Canadian company to build a modern settlement for Pititsavan people displaced by Tropical Storm Erica. The Minister for Labour opened to a union suggestion to review aspects of the country's 39-year-old labour laws, and Chairman of the Marigot Village Council appeals for patience as authorities move to have health services transferred out of a mold-infested building. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. Topping the news, government has signed a contract with Montreal Management Consultants Establishment for the construction of homes for Pititsavan residents displaced by Tropical Storm Erica. Thursday's signing ceremony is considered historic and in keeping with government's commitment to build back better following Tropical Storm Erica.
We are pleased to positively consider and endorse the offer made by Montreal Management Consultant Establishment to develop and construct available housing settlement scheme at Belleville-Chopin for the resettlement of the Pititsavan community. MCC has decided to partner with the government to develop part of 49.6 acres of land, formerly known as the Alford Estate in Belleville-Chopin, and that was acquired by the state. Over $2 million was paid for that acquisition to resettle the residents of Pititsavan. MMC proposes a land use designed to meet the residential, commercial, and communal requirements of the resettled community. One of the key focuses of the proposal development will be on the residential need, and according to MMCE proposal, 87% of the land use will be targeted for housing, 12% for commercial use, and 1% for communal use. And that would include community center, farmers market, and cemetery. Based on the foregoing, the proposed land use development will be broken down as follows: 315 residential units, 45 commercial units, and 3 communal units. And the 315 residential units will be further broken down as follows: 51 single-bedroom units, 146 two-bedroom units, and 70 three-bedroom units, and 48 four-bedroom units.
283 households were dislocated by Erica, but government will make provision for 315 households. The project is expected to have economic spin-offs.
We intend to create hundreds of jobs through your local contracting and building industry. And we intend to create tens of jobs, permanent jobs, through our integrated commercial centers that are part of the project. And I wish if we had any display of the project, that would have been wonderful, but I don't see any. So that's the vision we have. It is a very, very unique project. It gives directly to the people of Dominica. And I trust and foresee that in September 30th of 2017, we'll hold a press conference in the new community of the people of Pititsavan, and we'll all be there.
The intention, therefore, is to create a model community, thereby taking the lives of the people of Pititsavan to another level. We expect to meet with the residents of Pititsavan in the coming weeks to discuss the proposed plan and to get from them the ideas and the feedback which will be incorporated, some of them, in the final plans. I have been advised that work will commence on the first day of July 2016, just now then, the first day of July 2016, and is expected to extend for a one-year period of time.
More on this important development in our next newscast. More top stories. The government of Dominica is taking steps to review the country's labor laws as concerns have been raised recently over this piece of legislation.
During his May Day message this year, Secretary-Treasurer of the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union, Curtis Augustus, took to task some aspects of the country's labor laws, among them the current ceiling on redundancy benefits, which he believes should be raised. Augustus also advocated for the inclusion of the agency shop clause. In a meeting with the media earlier this week, the Minister for Labour said he planned to have these issues dealt with in the near future.
To be frank, I must say that consideration is being given to both such requests. I have given the Labour Commissioner an assignment to investigate and for the express purpose of finding out whether there is similar provisions in our sister countries, especially as it relates to the implementation of the agency shop clause in terms of the redundancy benefit ceiling. It's now 52 weeks. One has to get an understanding as to if it's now 52 weeks. What is the specific recommendation? We would like to see it move from 52 weeks to 70 weeks. There is going to be a need for consultation with the Employers Federation with the view of coming to a common understanding and then to have something taken to cabinet. So within the next couple of weeks to a month, I shall be embarking on that mission to ensure that those issues are in fact dealt with finality.
The length of time the tribunal takes to address matters and concerns brought by laborers is also an area of concern for Augustus.
That tribunal has a chairperson. So the Labor Department in itself cannot be instrumental in the actual administration of that tribunal's affairs. You get my point. What I will say, though, is that there seem to be some delays here because, in my humble view, a tribunal should not be treated as a court hearing. So you find that persons come, rightly so with the lawyers, and introduce rules of evidence. Yes, sir? And that in itself can cause the matter to carry on for a protracted period of time. And in most cases, the delays are caused by the employers, which is very unfortunate.
Dominica's labor laws have not been reviewed or revised in 39 years. Andrea Levy, Channel 5 News.
In other developments, arrangements continue to have health services transferred out of a mold-infested building as medical staff in Marigot and Wesley try to adapt to the situation. A Channel 5 News team visited the communities on Thursday. Idona Jean-Baptiste has more.
I'm at the Wesley Health Center, which is accommodating some of the health services for Marigot since the closure of the building housing the Marigot Hospital and Health Center. When we came on the scene on Thursday, Doctor's Clinic was open and the pharmacy was operating normally, but there are challenges with space. First of all, the nurse is operating from a record room since most of the space at the Wesley Health Center had to go to Marigot Hospital operations. The health center's dressing room is now serving as an accident and emergency department. Orderlies also don't have an area to sleep. We spoke to some of the people who were at the health center at the time, and this is what they had to say.
I come here this morning to see the doctor, but it have so much people around here. Since 6 o'clock I'm here, and watch the time now. Now, from Atkinson to Kalibishi, you have to come here. Are you thinking that is reasonable? The hospital was built at Marigot by Sister Alisa and Kulume. People that was going and work there for nothing. Mr. Christopher Murray used to pay people from Woodford Hill to go and work on the hospital. We do not want renovation.
If they have to build a hospital, I'm specifying no particular area, but I'm saying if it has to be built, it has to be in a convenient area that villages have access to the hospital in a convenient manner.
But I moved to Wesley. London have enough place to make it.
Where?
Londonderry.
Londonderry.
Yeah. Government have enough land there. Instead of making it Marigot, they give what problem Marigot want to block road for it. Well, we better put it in Londonderry down there. If we have space, if it's a bigger hospital than Marigot, we put it in Londonderry instead.
Marigot's dental unit has been moved to schools in the community while its pharmacy is at a government-rented building. Health administrators admit that there have been challenges moving Marigot's health services, but the director of primary health care said they are trying their best to have minimal disruption.
So yes, we've moved to Wesley Health Center. However, there are challenges with that in that right now the public, the persons, our catchment area that we care for, actually has to move from Marigot. They have to move from Marigot to Wesley. So there is a distance, a transportation, a cost that is related to that move. Staff themselves have to adjust to their new location, and again there is travel expenses. The district medical officer, he is positioned in, or he's located at Marigot. He now has to move from Marigot to Wesley on a frequent basis, particularly as it relates to on-call services and other emergency services. Then the Wesley Health Center, which is a Type 1 health center, the facility is actually small. So yes, we have additional services being brought across, so space is a challenge.
The Accident and Emergency Department is open for 24 hours, while the health center runs from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Health authorities have identified 2 buildings in Marigot Hospital, which the services will be relocated to. Idona John Baptist, Channel 5 News.
Meantime, Chairman of the Marigot Village Council has asked the community to exercise a level of patience while the authorities relocate the community's health services. Kenneth Samuel told Channel 5 News the district village councils have already met to discuss the situation.
I'm not going to sit there and say it's not affecting our people, because I myself had the privilege of being there with my daughter, and I see the challenge that it faced, not really having a proper facility in the area. I mean, one of the things that the council come on board was to try to come in contact with the district council as far as from Calibishi to Atkinson, as to bringing all the chairmen together, as to call in a meeting and to see how we could together, meet with the minister and to discuss the issue.
That's the health minister?
That's the health minister. For some reason, the letter didn't get sent because of different reasons. So it said we will bring it back to the drawing board.
Samuel says another meeting due later this month will further guide their response on the situation.
On the 21st, we have a meeting scheduled again with the district council, in which that definitely going to be on the table as well. So then from there, we will know exactly what to do from there, what step we as a district council can take to help as it relates to the issue. From there, we will know exactly how the district council going to deal with it together with the other councils.
On the response from health officials at a recent news conference, Samuel says he looks forward to seeing them act on their plans.
We really want to see them to come on board and to really do something because we are not just only concerned for ourselves, but we are concerned for the entire district. The hospital is not a Marigot issue. It will never be. It's just fortunate that it's in our community, and we are thankful for that. Because, it still poses a little challenge. We have the airport right there as well. We would not want to know that anything happened during the time of a flight that would definitely have to need our assistance. We hope that our authorities can work speedily and to get something done to bring back the hospital on the running.
People of Dubique displaced by Tropical Storm Erica last year will soon experience relief in their living arrangements. In an interview with Channel 5 News, Chairman of the Housing Resettlement Committee reiterated that while the housing structures are 95% complete, there is still the matter of providing utilities before the units can be fully ready.
The water component is practically in place. We had to install a 4,500 gallon tank to augment the water system. As you know, the center area, while it's fundamentally a rolling flat area, but it's at an elevated region, so of course we had to have some initial water storage capacity. In terms of the power, DOMLEC has put in most of the infrastructure. The overhead high voltage lines has been stepped down. We have the step down transformer on site, as well as the low voltage distribution, all in place. They have put in the street light abstract. We're talking about LED street lights, which is super bright, clean, and really a spectacle during the night time. So in terms of the safety and security of the people.
Under the premise of building back better, the aim is to run underground connections for these houses.
In terms of the internet and telephone, Flow is right now doing the aspect. And again, most of what they have to do would be a similar installation to Domlec, where you have minimal overhead lines, and then most of the connection going to the household would be done underground as well. So you'll see a much tidy and neater practice.
Following the proper installation of the utilities, the next step is to improve the road conditions in the housing resettlement.
Before we could go onto the road, we have to ensure most of the water lines and utilities as telephone and power has to be in place, because you don't want to go doing your roads and then have to excavate this thing again. So now that we are getting those out of the place and to have them tested, and I say tested, I mean for instance the water connections, then we will see shortly the commencement of the road component, road and drainage component, which is a very important aspect.
Blackmore confirmed that some houses had already been allotted to the Dubique residents and they have been involved in landscaping activities.
The decision was made at the very highest level as well to engage the residents in terms of getting them involved in doing the landscaping of the site, more so the backyard, the home. We have been working with the Division of Agriculture and Forestry to ensure that they identify the right plants and species in terms of the fruits and all the kind of ornamental grass and flowers. So some of the houses have already been allocated to some of the occupants, of course, so they can get involved in the actual landscaping and beautification aspect of it.
50 houses have been allotted to the resettlement in Center Grand Bay. 49 of these have been fully outfitted with the basic furnishings.
Out of the 50, as of this stage where we are, 49 of those houses are all covered, fitted in the windows and doors and the other features of toilets, and we're in the stage, of course, of putting the kitchen units and all the components of the houses.
Residents of Dubique are currently living at various locations in Grand Bay until they can move into their houses at Center. You are watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, some of the other benefits of a trade agreement between Martinique and Dominica. Thank you for staying with us. A trade mission by Martinique businessmen and women to Dominica is already resulting in plans that will generate economic activity here. President of the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce says the idea is to build strategic business partnerships with the Martinique private sector. He says one Martinican company has started discussing with Invest Dominica Authority for a possible investment here.
The whole mission of the DIC is really to create sustainable opportunities within the private sector in Dominica, and the trade mission that has kicked off today is to do just that. We want to put you in contact with business partners in Dominica. We want you to establish partnerships. Out of this, in my view, what we expect to get out of it is at the end of your B2B interactions that there will be at least one or two business opportunities that will be not just determined, but there will be tangible actions taken to bring them to life. I know for sure, in my discussion with one gentleman this morning, there's an ambition to extend and to construct a factory building in Dominica so that they can extend their operations into the Dominica market.
Baptiste says Martinique is a great model for successful business investments.
While we have ambition to grow and extend opportunities within the private sector in Dominica, we certainly do not have all the answers within the DIC in Dominica. And from our own assessment, we think quite a bit of what we need to do in Dominica has already been done in Martinique. And so there is absolutely no need for us to try to reinvent the wheel, but if we can strengthen that partnership with the Chamber of Commerce in Martinique, they can help us achieve our own ambitions in Dominica, and this is what we intend to do. I think once we get that going, the benefits will trickle down to the private sector in Dominica.
The Minister for Social Services and Gender Affairs has echoed the sentiments of the UN Secretary General to redouble efforts to realize the rights of older people and make the dream of a society of all ages a reality. Research has shown that elder abuse, neglect, violence, and exploitation are among the biggest issues facing senior citizens around the world. Speaking on the occasion of World Elder Abuse Awareness Day on Wednesday, Catherine Daniel noted that depriving seniors of their finances was one form of elder abuse. She stressed that even if government has in place programs geared towards making life better for seniors, it's the responsibility of the family to care for the aging population.
I must caution, however, that the comfort and well-being of elder persons cannot be left solely to government. In reality, the primary responsibility for the protection and care of elder persons lies with the family. To put it simply, children must take care of their parents. Relatives, neighbors, community members must also take care of the older persons among them who in their productive years contributed to the lives and the development of their communities and the nation by extension. We must not be a people without gratitude. We must not be irresponsible. We must do for our elder persons what we would like to have succeeding generations do for us when our turn comes around. I charge all citizens of Dominica to take this responsibility seriously.
Data from the World Health Organization suggests that 4 to 6% of elderly suffer from some form of abuse, and a large percentage of it goes unreported. Estimates indicate that by the year 2050, the global population of people above the age of 60 will exceed the number of young people. Dominica's awardee of this year's Queen's Young Leaders program is making her way to London to collect her award.
Tina Alfred, Lifeline Victim Support Coordinator, left Ireland on Thursday ahead of the official ceremony on 23rd June. However, before Alfred is to receive her award, she has an active itinerary which aims to help the youth leaders network and better develop their leadership skills.
We have various schedules. We meet with a lot of the social media executives, including Twitter, the board of directors for Twitter, and also for BBC News. I will be also meeting with Baroness Scotland and a lot of important persons, and we will have a lot of important trainings. Also, I'll be attending trainings at the University of Cambridge. Yes.
Okay, and these trainings are to help you in what regard?
In mentoring and leadership.
The Queen's Young Leaders program aims to find exceptional youth from across the 53 states of the Commonwealth who are taking the lead in their communities and using their skills to transform lives.
I feel honored, very honored to be the recipient of this award. I feel privileged and I look forward, and I will definitely use this as a stepping stone to continue in my life experiences, and I will definitely make the best of the opportunity.
Alfred is encouraging young people who have dreams of making a positive change in society to pursue their dreams and help bring development to their communities.
I urge them to strive towards their goals, to reach for what they dream to do, also to continue to involve persons who are of authority or in responsibility to assist them in going throughout what they want to pursue. You know, sometimes we tend to hold back and not get the necessary assistance that we need. So we should go out and ask and talk to people and continue to network.
The Queen's Young Leaders program is open to youth aged 18 to 29 years. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Chit Chat is next. Hey guys, on today's Chit Chat, we're here with our friends from Dominica State College. We're going to learn about an exciting event that's happening tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, we have the DSC Got Talent Finals, hosted by the DSC Ambassadors. It takes place at the State College grounds at 7 p.m. The price is only $10, and that $10 gets you an after party as well as special guest performances.
Nice, nice. So, $10, 7 p.m. State College. All right, we have that covered. Now, what kind of talent have you seen over the time, you know, in the preliminary rounds and getting up to the finals?
Throughout the rounds, we had many talents such as dancing, singing, rapping, and even comedy, while some even decide to beatbox and dance.
Oh, yeah? Nice. So now, if I'm using social media and I heard about it, but I'm not sure where to look, where can I find you guys?
You can find us on Facebook at DSC Got Talent, and also Instagram at DSC Got Talent as well.
Okay, guys, so there you heard it on today's Chit Chat. Some exciting stuff is happening at Dominica State College, some entertainment. It's only $10. It's happening at 7 p.m. on Friday night. You can't afford to miss it. It is Dominica State College Got Talent. You heard it first on Mapping 2K4. Sports is next. kick off with football. Dominica lost their opening match in the Windward Islands Women's Tournament, which kicked off at Windsor Park Stadium on Wednesday. The national team went down to the defending champions, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 3-0. Arima Franklin scored twice for St. Vincent, while Shadell Cyrus scored 1. Meantime, head coach of the national women's team, Stanton Seraphine, says the footballers played well despite the loss.
It's a tough loss, because I believe our girls, the performance was good. I believe we gave up some soft goals, and that really pinned us back. You go to the second half that we had the bulk of possession. We had nice passes, nice build-up, but it's just the final pass to get, create a chance and eventually get a goal. That is what I was missing. Generally, not disappointed in the performance. Disappointed in the result, yes, but the performance, I'm pleased with the young girls. Just want them, to be a bit more decisive in the final third. And I think, going forward, if we can rectify that problem, we'll be all right.
Meantime, captain of the national women's team, Romelcia Phillips, says there is a plan for Dominica's game against Martinique, and it should be a competitive match.
We need to have faster reaction on defense and to work quicker in attack. And the ball needs to knock more in the center so we can be able to bring the ball wide and forward.
Okay, what are your expectations, though, for that match on Sunday against Martinique?
I'm expecting a tough game.
And the head coach for St. Vincent and the Grenadines says he expected more goals but will settle for 3.
We are elated. We've been preparing very hard. The girls have worked hard, and I know they are very satisfied and happy at this result. We would have liked a few more goals, but we are happy with this result. We actually were looking for 4. We had prepared. My goalkeeper's coach was saying 4. He had a feeling of 4. My assistant coach was saying she had a feeling of 4. And I think we had the opportunities to do that. But I'm happy with the performance in terms of the girls. We have a few little things to work on in terms of the midfield and the transition a little bit. But I think overall we are very satisfied with this victory.
The tournament continues on Friday with SNG taking on Martinique at 7. Dominica will be in action again on Sunday when they come up against Martinique at 6 p.m. On the basketball scene, there were wins for United Insurance Sharks, Elvis Welding Services Hornets, and Police Sports Club in Wednesday's edition of the 2016 Flow DABA League. Hornets defeated Digicel Cloud 65-63. Kiefer Francis scored 17, Jackie Claire 14, and Albert Durand 10 for Hornets, while C. Ambo got 14 and Delton Charles and Michan Felix got 9 each for Cloud. Meantime, Police Sports Club added another win to their tally when they defeated Tigers 58-49. For Police, Marlon Hillier top scored with 28, while Kerry Christmas and Lenny Dangleben got 13 and 10 respectively. In a losing effort, Tony Lee got 25 and Haywood Powell 9. And United Insurance Sharks beat Justina Charles Thunderers 68-60. The basketball action moves to Massac on Friday between Digicel Cloud and LA Knights at 7, to be followed by Police Sports Club against Ronald Charles and Willie Barbershop All-Stars at 9. Moving on to cricket, West Indies suffered a major loss against South Africa, losing their game in the Tri-Nation Series by 139 runs on Wednesday. South Africa batted first and scored 343 for 4. Hashim Amla had a game high of 110, while Faf du Plessis came in with 71. With an unlikely target of 344 for the win, West Indies were bowled out for 204 in 48 overs. Imran Tahir spelled trouble for the Windies batsmen as he took 7 for 45. Back with more football. Remember these guys? Well, it's almost time for them to showcase their talents as they get ready to leave for Jamaica to try and impress selectors further for the Digicel Kickstart program. Perry Charles, Jemiah Timothy, and Keanu Martin found favor in the eyes of Manchester United selectors in April and will travel to Jamaica on Friday. The boys will take part in a training camp where 8 players will be selected to travel to England to train at the Manchester City's Football Club grounds. Meantime, marketing assistant at Digicel Dominica and chaperone for the selected 3, Tirella Alexander, says this opportunity is a proud moment for Dominica.
It is a very exciting time for Dominica, for our 3 star boys, Jemiah Timothy, Perry Charles, and Keanu Martin. Jemiah and Perry of the Dominica Grammar School and Keanu of the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School. Now it's time, we're almost there to the time for the Kickstart Academy, which is the second phase of the program. The boys are ready to move on to that segment where they'll meet up with several others from the Caribbean and Central America. We're talking a total of 14 countries. They will meet up with them in Jamaica for the Digital Kickstart Academy, which will run from the 20th of June to the 24th at the Sabina Park in Kingston. We know that the Kickstart program has quite a bit of knock-on effects. It means that the boys will now be more motivated. They would have learned new skills, new techniques that they can take back with them to their countries, to their teams, at school, and their various clubs in the communities. They would have learned so much from these coaches, not just from the coaches, but also from their peers from the other Caribbean and Central American countries.
She says while the boys didn't have a specific training for Jamaica, between April and June, the footballers trained with their community teams.
They are part of different footballing clubs on the island, and in fact, Keanu Martin is currently in Santo Domingo as part of the national under-20 team. So, you know, they just continue to press on in the sport that they love. Football is their passion, and you can see that everywhere they go.
The boys were selected from a pool of 30 footballers. They are scheduled to be back in Dominica on June 27. Meantime, Dominica moved from being in the lead 1-0 in the first half to losing the game 2-1 against Jamaica in Dominica's first game of the 2016 CFU's Men Under-20 qualifiers in the Dominican Republic on Wednesday. On Friday, the national team will take on host country Dominican Republic at 4 and St. Kitts and Nevis at 2 p.m. on Sunday. That's all the sports for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us again next time. Your weather report is next.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to your weather. I'll be your presenter, Farah Rock Korea. Today, a high pressure system was a dominant feature, which resulted in fair to partly cloudy skies across the Lesser Antilles. Earlier visible satellite imagery showed some low-level clouds traverse across the Eastern Caribbean, and earlier radar imagery indicated some spotty shower activity across the Eastern Caribbean. Tonight's weather is expected to be fair to partly cloudy with brief showers, and similar conditions can be expected for tomorrow. The marine conditions will be moderate and waves are expected to be up to 7 feet. Let's take a look at the weather for the weekend. Tomorrow, Friday, fair to partly cloudy skies with brief showers. Saturday, increasingly cloudy and breezy with some scattered showers. And Sunday, Father's Day, mostly cloudy and breezy with some scattered showers. The rest of the Caribbean tomorrow can expect generally partly cloudy skies with some scattered showers, and the maximum temperatures are expected to peak up to 33 degrees Celsius in the extreme southern portion of the Lesser Antilles. Let's move on now to the international cities forecast. Partly cloudy skies expected for New York and Beijing. Thunderstorm activity for Miami and Caracas, and the City of London can expect some overcast skies with some rain. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:35 a.m. and will set at 6:38 p.m. Please remember we are in the hurricane season. Feel free to visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Join us tomorrow evening for your next weather broadcast. Thank you.
To end the news, the headlines again. Government signs contract with Canadian company to build a modern settlement for Petite Savanne people displaced by Tropical Storm Erica. The Minister for Labour opened to a union suggestion to review aspects of the country's 39-year-old labour laws, and the chairman of the Marigot Village Council appeals for patience as authorities move to have health services transferred out of a mold-infested building. Feel free to contact us at news@mapping2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Kenny Williams. To our viewers around the world, thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.